We should be live in this thing. Welcome to jkgames, the gaming podcast where we bring you the gaming news we care about.
And maybe some that you don't.
And whether you play on easy mode,
Or you like a good challenge.
this is a show where we'll try to level up your gaming knowledge. Knowledge.
Yeah.
Hello.
Welcome. Hi. My name is Kayla. I'm one of your hosts. Wow, I started with that. We never do that.
Heck yeah, and I'm Jerica, your other host, and on this show we talk about video games and how we normally don't start our shows off this smoothly.
Yeah. Wow, this is a change. Normally it takes me good 10 minutes to get my name out, you know?
Yeah, because we just start talking about whatever. Did you know
Yeah.
it's usually a few days since we've actually spoken to each other, so
Yeah. And sometimes we even in pre-show conversations setting up, we'll be discussing. We're like, why don't we just wait until we record so we can get this
I
live in
know.
action?
Yeah.
So but we have a lot to discuss today. You might notice our setup if you're watching us on Twitch looks a little different. Thank you, Jerica, for getting that set up. I feel like you can see us more clearly,
Yeah. Yeah, I
front and
was
center.
inspired by podcast friends of the show, Respawning Fire. I think I saw where they went live recently, so they still might be going. But their layouts are like this and just allows, I don't know, you can see us better. I
Yes,
feel
hi.
like
Hi.
less cluttered, more content on the screen is a goal, so
Yeah.
I think it looks pretty good.
Thank you, Jerica.
Mhm.
Well, Jerica told me that
Mhm.
she's been spending some time, going through your thing, organizing, getting stuff together. But you said that you were starting a new collection, and I'm intrigued by this collection. Could you
Okay.
elaborate on what you've been doing?
So, well, I just bought my first part of this collection, which the rest of my collection could come from my mom's basement if I go and explore it, but I know I don't have this in the collection. Me and my girlfriend were just talking about replacing a shelf in the gaming room, so I could also inspired by our friend of the show, Josh. Looks like he did some gaming organizing
He did.
recently, and he had like a shelf full of like old games, and I was like, man, I wish I wasn't a dumb kid and threw away boxes and just gave games away when I thought I'll never play that again.
Yeah,
Instead,
same.
now I'm rambling, but ultimately I want to start a PlayStation 1 collection. Just PlayStation
Ooh.
1 games. And the first purchase I just got it on eBay, is and I like getting the black label games, so like not the hottest hits or whatever, the green label cases. I want the black label, the original
Ooh.
game.
Black label.
Yeah. But I got Metal Gear Solid, which
Nice.
I've never actually played on the PlayStation, so figured I would add that Kojima classic to a non-existent collection now, but I'm eventually going to start collecting PS1 games.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
exciting. I actually didn't do PS1. That was something that I skipped. I did PS2 and then I did the original Xbox and Xbox 360, but I didn't do PS1. Hmm.
Late from lunch just asked, did you get the long box Metal Gear Solid? And I don't think it's a long box. Is there a longer box? Maybe I should have got that one.
Hmm.
I just got the normal square box, if I'm understanding correctly. Let me look up what this long box is. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, I wish I would have kept a lot of my games from my childhood, but unfortunately I did not. I was kind of in the same box, like, oh, I won't play it again. And I think when you're younger, you don't understand the collecting
Oh,
aspect,
uh,
you know? But
I sort of forgot there
um
was long boxes. Sorry, Kayla, I got distracted because I was
oh, it's
like,
okay.
I know what that is now, and I'm like, oh, I want that one too. I want that one
Late from
too.
lunch, he said, I collect PS1 too. You'll get into long boxes soon.
Damn it.
That's funny.
Because
But yeah, definitely keep us updated on your journey.
when did the long box become a thing? Because I vaguely remember it for some games, and some I don't. Like when I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. But anywho, another
That's
topic
funny.
for another time. Yep, this is it's dangerous, Kayla.
Game Collector Diaries. You should definitely check out, a really good place to get, to look out for games is like fake Facebook Marketplace is a good one. Yard sales, like estate sales and things like that. I found some really cool stuff there. So definitely check that out. That's a good place to like collect old games because people are do what I did when I was a stupid kid and was like, I don't need
"Yeah,
this,
I
and
don't
so they
need
give it
it.
away.
Little Johnny doesn't want this anymore. Let me get rid of it."
um, but yeah, so we have a lot to talk about today. We haven't even said what our main topic is, but we're going to be talking about today indie games. We've done episodes in the past. I forget exactly what their title, but we've done like our favorite indie games before. That was like closer to when we first started. It's
Otto's, like,
crazy to think.
coughing up a hairball, sorry.
Oh no! Hey, buddy, he's out in the background. Oh,
He's like,
poor buddy. Me.
Jesus.
But yeah, we've done episodes in the past talking about indie games, but what we're going to be talking about today is kind of inspired by Jerica finishing this game, Inscription, which she's
Mm,
talking about. She's talked about it on a couple episodes so
mhm,
far. With our last episode, you should definitely check out if you haven't already with our friends over at Spotlight Games podcast. And it kind of brought up a conversation where she talked about like her first impressions of Inscription, and she texted me and she was like, "I need a new indie game to play
mhm.
because it was pretty unexpected, right? Like you didn't think
Yeah.
you were gonna love it as much as you did."
Yeah, it was pretty dumb how much I fell in love with this stupid card game. But it's definitely like, if I would've played it last year, it definitely would've been, like, my game of the year pretty much.
Ooh,
Like, it's my game of this year, and I know it didn't come out this year, but so far it's the one game I've had the most fun playing.
what year did it come out?
Last year.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, we're gonna that kind of sparked like she was like, oh well, what's some games I could add to my Steam wish list? I'm the same way. Like
Yeah.
I love if you've listened to the podcast for any length of time, you know I love sim games and a lot of sim games. There's a lot of indie sim games too. So I have some of those to talk about today. We're gonna talk about like we asked for your listeners suggestions on Twitter and Instagram, like suggestions for your favorite indie games and ones that you're excited about that are coming soon, because I like to try games that like are coming out recently as well. So we're gonna talk about both of those things today, but some housekeeping before we start. If you're new to the podcast, hello, welcome. We're live on Twitch. You can watch us on Twitch if you're listening after the fact. um, but we appreciate you guys if you're here watching us live now. And we lay our episodes out in 3 different modes, just like a video game. We got mode, we talk about what we've been playing, what we've been doing, things we've been collecting, Jerica, all things. Normal mode, which is where we're talking about news. We have some news today to talk about. We have the Nintendo Direct Mini that happened that we're going to talk about, and then apparently there's another delayed game. We're going to talk about.
But
Um,
when one gets delayed, another gets announced.
exactly.
Ooh.
I have thoughts about that.
Okay.
Um, so that's our normal mode, and then we have our expert mode, which is our main topic, which is games today. So we're going to talk about that last. And without further ado, you should go ahead and follow us on Instagram and Twitter, which is just JK Games Podcast. That's where we talk about when we're going to go live, which is normally sometime on the weekends for our episodes. Our Twitch is just also at JK Games Podcast. And then our YouTube, which is where we upload our live streams after the fact, is just JK Games Podcast. If you search us or if you go on our Instagram and click the link, you can find us there. And of course, you can always email us, jkgamespodcast@gmail.com. If you have anything that you want us to talk about, if you just want to chat about video games, um, old school
Um,
email,
something
you know,
just send us an email.
send us an email. Why not?
When
And then if it really helps us out if you leave us a review on your favorite podcasting platform. That would be awesome if you would review us there and tell us what you like about us or what you don't, I guess. Uh, but yeah, that's our kind of loadout there. And let's go ahead and launch right into our easy mode. Cherica.
Well, obviously we're gonna play. We're gonna talk about what we've been playing. But Campo63 in the chat was like, when are you guys launching a Furby podcast? Because I did share a picture in our gaming chat of my collection of Furbies. Obviously, I'm a collector. Started at a young age collecting. I don't know, at one point I went through a rock collection. We're gonna start
Mhm.
like the bare basics here. Collected
I did
rocks.
I did Beanie Babies.
I collected Beanie Babies, as also on the list of collecting. I feel like I collected arrowheads at one point.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
I
did that
feel
too.
like I collected, obviously Pokemon cards, and that is made a resurgence into my life. There's probably tons of other things that random things I've been I used to, um, like, all my Beanie Babies were, like, in these little crystal boxes. Did you
That's
have
hardcore.
yeah,
I did not have crystal
like,
boxes.
some of those, rare ones, like, I didn't want any dust to get on them, so I put them in a little container.
I collected
Um,
Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I didn't do Pokemon, but I did Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh! That
Which
was
is
a
sad,
that
the creator passed away. Did you see
no,
that?
I didn't. I never got into Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Either, so I missed that. That's sad.
Yeah,
I
he
missed it.
he was fairly young too. He was like 60. He drowned in the ocean.
Oh my god.
Like doing some sort of scuba, I think. Very sad. He was only like 60 something years old. Anyway,
Well,
sorry. Depressing.
yeah. Uh,
Continue.
Let me transition into my other collection, which was a Furby collection. So I got into
Yeah.
that, which was, I guess it was cool at the time, but now I'm looking back on it, it's terrifying. Furbies are really scary. And I remember they sort of creeped me out when I collected them too, because they like talk to each other and like wake us up and like, and they'll like do like the yawning. "Ah,
Yeah.
meow, meow." And like the more you like, I feel like the longer you worked with the Furby or had the Furby talk to its friends, it would learn English and not just like jibber jabber. I could be remembering that incorrectly, but at the time,
It's terrifying.
wow, ahead of its time. Uh, Listen, I did look up on eBay what some of those Furbies that I have, a couple still in the box, and, like, one of them was going for, like, 150 bucks. The one that looks like the
Wow.
one that looks like an angel. It looks like it has, like, a halo and it's got wings. It's so stupid. But that one, like, it's a hot item, hot Furby for the Furby collectors that are still out
Hot
there.
Furby.
So I
Hot
would
Furby, baby.
definitely gonna look at selling some Furbies so I can buy PS1 games, like, that is the goal. That would be the exchange, I think,
Wow.
here. Um, so yeah, Furbies, they're a thing. I have, like, 12 of them in my mom's basement/dungeon.
You don't have any in your current
Hell
home?
no, I don't wanna bring them into the house. I would actually just send like, I would leave them at my mom's house, because nothing scares her. So, and I'll sell them, and then if I need her to ship them, I'll have her ship them for me. So,
Well, what
okay.
you been what's I am thankful that you shared that story because I actually had Furbies as well. I didn't collect them, but, like, I had a couple of them. My
That's all
thing
you
was
needed, Kayla. You didn't need 12, you know?
my mom collected, uh, Beanie Babies for me, like, to
Nice.
have, and then
That's cool.
another thing was, like, Barbie dolls, like, the ones that were, like, special edition in the cases,
Nice.
and so I always wanted to play with them, but she was like, "No, you gotta keep them in pristine." I had Barbies I played with, by the way, but, like, there was the special ones that were, like, in the boxes, like, in pristine condition, so it's funny. Campos said, "I feel like that's something that you need to disclose at the sale of a house. Furbies lived here. Someone died in a house."
Just gonna leave them in the basement and, like, the next person, like, because there's not really any lights down there, it's not even a basement, it's like an incomplete, like, crawl
Crawl
space.
space?
Yeah, so it's, like, rocky. It's not meant for you to, like, be down there and enjoying your time, but that's where the Furbies are. It's terrifying. And I
Oh my
left them all
gosh.
out, like, in a row just staring, you know?
Well, Jerica, I know you told me so do you wanna give, like, your spoiler-free-ish thoughts on that?
Oh, Inscription?
Yeah.
Sort of, went out there just for, like, a split second, so I didn't hear
Oh,
him.
no.
And I was like, I just assumed she means Inscription.
Yes.
Um, yes, because I do want anyone that is interested in playing not to get totally spoiled. And I advise you not to look into anything about it, to go in pretty much blind. Very similar to where people are like, I'm like, should I play Doki Doki Literature Club? And everybody's like, don't read anything about it. But yes, you should.
What is that?
That's a game you should definitely play, Kayla.
What?
Don't look up anything about it. Another I'm just into those types of games, so if you enjoyed that experience, it's not a visual novel or anything, but you like card games and you actually played the Pokemon game, like the Pokemon card game. which I did for a little bit, you'll have a great time with this game. It's just like builds on those basic rules of playing cards where you have to have a certain number of energy to attack. Um, and the game itself, like the card game, is so addictive. You're basically given like a random deck each time, and as you're progressing through the map, you get to like decide if you want to add new cards to your deck or combine cards and fun in a really fun way. Take and then cards can get powers, vigils, or sigils. Vigil is a thing where you're grieving someone, right? Like someone's died.
Yes, that's what
Okay.
that is.
Sigil is what I meant to say. So like powers, like a card can fly over an opponent's card and like deal damage directly to the boss. Because ultimately you're trying to use your cards to damage the player against you.
The
And they're
creepy
trying
weird guy.
yeah, and they're trying to do the same thing to you, but if you have cards on the table, like in all 4 slots, you can only play like 4 cards at a time. They're gonna take the damage, not you. So, and yes, you are using teeth. Teeth is
That's
like
terrifying.
there's like a scale to the left of you as you're playing, and each time you deal an attack to um the player, it puts a little tooth on a scale, and if your scale gets weighed down by like I think plus so many teeth, if it goes over, you lose the match. So if you get a card in there that does a lot of damage, you want to kill the card that's in the spot, and then that damage will go towards the player.
So it
So
sounds like a lot of steps.
I got more into it than I thought I would because I thought, oh, this is gonna take a lot of thinking and strategy and like blah 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 blah. But actually, it turned out to be really fun, and doing
Okay.
that was exciting because every round, if you die, you start over. You start over with the same like basic starter cards, but your deck will be different each time you play because you might decide to
Mhm.
pick up a card, you might combine a card, you might get a rare card and steal its power to place on one of your cards. My favorite part of this game, though, is that without giving any spoilers, obviously, like if you die, you get a card called a death card made in your honor, and you can take the player takes a picture of you, and it looks like this stupid face. It's always like a dark shadowy figure, and they're like something stupid, and you get to name the card whatever you want.
Oh, no.
I have a lot of bad words in my card
Yeah.
game.
I remember you
One's
said that on
called
our
like, you know,
online.
titty. Like one one's called titty. And I'm
The
really
titty card.
and then like you get to combine like of that deck that you had. So I named this one titty, and then
Mhm.
it gives me a couple cards that I got in my deck, and it's like, do you want to steal the requirement for this one? Do you want to steal the power from this one? And so you can combine really awesome cards sometimes and then to make just like a killer card.
Nice.
And
Killer
I
titty.
yep,
Killer
basically
titty.
Killer Titty. That's similar to another card that I had got to make. Oh my god, I got this ultra rare card randomly. Basically, if the card gets hit, you come back to life and return to the hand. So it just keeps coming back. And I combined it with another card that had an incredible hit point amount. So like it damaged a lot, and every time it died, if it did die, like it got returned to my hand. So I just kept playing it. If I
Nice.
got to it in the deck. Um and I call that one and then I'm not gonna it just feels naughty saying the whole word, but you know, you effed. It's
Mm.
you. And it was the
Yeah.
best card because I got that's the card that ultimately helped me win the game. Um and I was so thankful when I drew it from my deck finally. So
Nice.
a lot of
That
good
sounds
times.
fun,
And
yeah.
then there's one of the bosses where they play your death cards against you, so I had to play against Titty and Butthole, you know? And like
Yep.
they're coming at me.
Sometimes you gotta, you know?
It's
Dang.
great. Like
That's fun.
little things like that because you wouldn't have known that the enemy is gonna play your death cards against you at any point. So when I saw that, I like died laughing. I was like, "This is so dumb." I sort of regret naming these, but do I really? No. Um, So that's just one of many things that this game does that makes it really exciting and rewarding. Because like, each new stage you get to, there's, like, a little surprise like that sort of it just takes you're like, "That was cool." It's cool they're
Yeah.
using my own death cards against me, so
Yeah. That's awesome.
anyways, Inscription's great. Don't look into it, just play it. It's amazing. It is coming to PlayStation, at some point in the future, just got announced,
Yeah.
which with everything I know about Inscription, I'm gonna wanna play it again on PlayStation because it does some really cool stuff, and there's stuff that it does on the PC version that didn't I see why it took so long for it to come to PlayStation. Um, there's a whole mechanic you have to have a PC for. So I'm interested to see how they do it on the PlayStation because that's gonna be fun to it's gonna be a different experience on
Oh, I
PlayStation.
remember you told me about that. That's
Yeah,
right.
so that'd be cool to see. I'm
Yeah.
ready. Let's go.
Okay. Did you play anything else new?
I actually let's see, let me take my I have a horrible memory. I have to look at like I
Your
started
most recent?
Disco Elysium.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Elysium? Yeah.
is that how it's pronounced? I
I
don't
think
know.
so. I think
Disco
so.
Elysium. I started that. That's interesting. I haven't
That won
gotten too far.
a lot of awards when
I
it
can
came out.
already see why. Everything's
Yeah.
narrated. Seems to be a really interesting story. So I'm gonna keep playing that. And also, I haven't started, but I did download Gris.
Oh,
Gris
yeah, yeah, yeah.
looks pretty cool. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a bit
Cool.
about it. Other than Destiny, of course.
Yeah.
What about
Cool.
you?
So, I have still been my main thing I'm trying now is Life is Strange, the original game, the
Mm.
remastered version. I'm on episode 3. The way that episode 2 ended, I cannot, like, imagine having to have waited until the next episode came out, like, when it was happening. Is that when you played it? Did you play it, like, as it was
Yes.
I
Yeah.
can't even imagine.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
No, wait. I played the second one like that. I did not
Okay.
play I take that back. I did they were all out. I take that back. I got on the bandwagon a little later.
Okay.
Um, but I played the second one like that and it
Okay.
sort of hurt the experience. I'm glad they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, because I feel like I like that you can just continue playing. I feel like if it stopped you, like, right there, it might be a little weird, like, depending on when the next chapter came out. But
Yeah.
I'm having a lot of fun. I think it's great. I love these type of games, and I don't know. There's just I don't wanna spoil anything, but one day when I finish it, we're gonna do a spoiler cast, potentially with our friend of the show, Cody, about, like, the whole game because it's heavy, but it's good, and I think it talks about a lot of really good stuff. So I wanna dive into it more. So that's what I'm playing, kinda, like, trying to finish. I've been playing a lot of Fall Guys lately. I love Fall Guys. It's so much fun. It's really fun to play with friends, just with a big group. I think you can only play with up to 4 people, I think. Um, and it's really fun. It just now came to free to play, so it's also cross platform. So you can have it on Switch, PC, PlayStation, or Xbox, and it's all cross platform. So you can play with like whoever you want to, honestly.
Is
And
it
it's really, huh?
Epic Game Store, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
It's so much fun. It's silly. It's frustrating. It's basically like Wipeout. If you've ever seen the TV show Wipeout, it's that in a video of a game version. You're trying to get through obstacle courses without dying, and you can play with teams. So, like, if you play the team version, essentially, like, it encourages your placements. And if you don't make like top 10, for example, then you get kicked and you have to start over. But if you make like top 10, then you keep going to the next level until there's only like 2 teams left and you battle against each other. It's super fun, especially with friends, because it's like you have to kind of strategize. Some of them are skill based and some of them are more like chance based, but it's still super fun. So I've been playing that a lot. And I'm still super into Fortnite, the no build mode. I think it's really fun. Picked up Apex again. Those who have been
Nice.
around for a while.
Yeah.
I used to play Apex like religiously, but I don't know what made me kind of like fall off a little bit more. But I stopped playing it as much. But I got back into it. I haven't played the newest character, Castle. Try him, but I'm playing on my PC now, and I don't have much like stats built up on there, so I don't have points to unlock him yet. I don't want to have to pay for him, to be honest. But yeah, it's still really fun. I'm not as good at I to be. I still need to practice like keyboard and mouse playing Apex since I'm still like super muscle memory like controller. But I've started getting more back into it to kind of remember how to play it. But yeah, that's it for me. I haven't really tried anything new. I'm just trying to finish Life is Strange, and I'm trying to decide what to play next. But these indie game recommendations that y'all gave have really like inspired me on like what I play. So, um, I guess next we can go into do we should we do news first? Actually, we
Yeah.
probably should do news first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so let's go through the news. Do you want to
let's
kick
get
it off with
into
the Nintendo stuff?
let's go into some normal mode.
Ugh,
It's been a while since we've had like some news to talk about.
I just burped and it tasted like Chipotle.
You're half full
My
Chipotle
yeah, I was really disappointed. Chipotle totally jipped me.
at Chipotle.
They didn't get me like half of what I ordered.
Okay, let me see. Hold on.
I'm
I don't know what
sad
didn't.
and still hungry.
Hold on, my link was broken to the Nintendo Direct thing. So we're gonna talk about the Nintendo Direct Mini that came out. It was specifically called the Nintendo Direct Mini, but like third party titles. It was funny because we talked about it in our last episode with Spotlight Games podcast. Jerica's having a Jolly Rancher. I love that for her. Uh, best Jolly Ranchers are the sour ones. Have you ever had the sour ones?
No, I haven't. I need to try them.
They're so good. So this actually happened right after our last podcast with Spotlight Games as our guest. So we had the Nintendo Direct Mini that came out, third party titles. So let's see all of the announcements we got there. So Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is launching on Nintendo Switch this week. With a new trailer showed during the Nintendo Direct Mini, Capcom shared some new details on what to expect. I don't really play the Monster Hunter games. Do you, Jericho?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I've tried a couple of them. It's just I don't think it's my like style of game that I like.
I
Let's
never could get
see.
into the one that was that came to PlayStation, the Hunter
Mhm.
World. I don't remember. I feel like I tried it and I was like, I don't know if I can get into this, or maybe I'm just not getting it. But I didn't have fun.
I mean, it's pretty literally exactly what monsters, and like
Hmm.
it's fun, but it's pretty much it's kind of repetitive to me. But like I see the appeal. The it's pretty, like the game's really pretty. But then we also got Near Automata,
Mm. Is it?
the end of Your Ha edition coming to Nintendo Switch on October 6th.
That'd be a good game for
So
the Switch. I still haven't beaten
yeah,
it. Audrey, it's one of Audrey's favorite games ever,
yeah, I thought I
and
remembered her saying that.
she's beaten it multiple times because I think there's multiple endings. But maybe I can sit down and play it on the Switch when it comes out.
Yeah, so new costumes and previous release modes and other content. L'Oreal and the Laser Eyes. So that I think this is an indie game that's coming out. Oh, Sayonara Wild Hearts developer. So whoever
Mm.
did that, because I know that won a lot of awards when it came out. It's a
Yeah.
modern take on puzzle adventure games,
Okay.
and that's coming out in 2023. Trying to make sure I don't miss anything. Let's see. Let uh Mario and the Rabbids game that has been announced for a while, Sparks of Hope.
Mm.
It got a release date and it's going to be released on October 20th.
Coming out this
And it's
year.
getting its own showcase, like specifically on Wednesday. So I think that's already happened actually.
I
But
missed that.
pre-orders are open on Nintendo eShop. Let's see. I feel like something else got announced that was big. Jericho, did you see anything about this? Are you frozen? I
No,
think
but
she's
my
frozen.
computer did something weird.
Jericho.
It might be me. Can you hear me?
All right, I guess I'm gonna.
Oh no. Yeah. Steam went out. Went out. Figured. Oh damn.
don't know if he can.
I might be back. Hello?
Hi! Are you still there?
Maybe it didn't went out,
Ah!
but our network did go down. Hold, please.
Somebody said this is inscription shit that she's pulling.
I wish it was. My Wi-Fi went down, I think, for a minute. Something happened. Audrey's playing Destiny, and that went down too.
Oh,
So,
wow.
hmm
I think it has me as you. Oh, wait, no, it fixed. Okay. So I was still talking while you were gone. I don't know if they
cool,
got that,
perfect.
but,
No, I don't think so.
that's okay.
But I think everything's
Um,
working now.
cool. Let us know if everything's cool with you guys. I don't even think the stream technically went down. I think it stayed up.
Hey, that was an added bonus.
So in this Nintendo Direct, Jericho, you know I love Disney.
hmm
Disney Dreamlight Valley. Have you seen about that?
Nope. What is it?
It's a Disney sim game. It's similar to Animal
Wait,
Crossing.
I did. I
Yeah.
know. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a life simulator that combines Disney and Pixar world, and there's a story too. You're trying to like fix like the darkness in the world or whatever. It looks super interesting to me. And they showed that off at the direct, showed a little bit more gameplay, and it comes out on September 6th. Um, that also was announced at this direct, and then I'm trying to think the big thing. So Portal Companion Collection gets a
Heck yeah.
surprise
Have you ever
launch.
played that?
I have not, but everybody says I would really like it.
It's it's a definitely a puzzlier game, but it's really fun.
Yeah. It got the bundle includes Portal 2, and the co-op version of Portal 2. And it launched I think this past week it actually already launched on Switch. And then we have Persona. So Persona 5 Royale is launching on Nintendo Switch. So that got announced and it's launching on October 21st. And what's crazy is that our guest like predicted this, which is pretty cool. So like they talked about this and I thought that was awesome. I shouted them out on Twitter because I was like, wow, you guys predicted the future. But I think that's really it. There wasn't like a ton of stuff that came out, and they did mention that like they literally said it was a mini direct. So,
Yeah.
but there's some exciting stuff there. Like they kind of really just showed off some stuff that was already announced and gave some release dates. Okay, they said we're back up and we look good. But that's it for the direct. If you wanted to go into the sad delay, but also like it's like a give and take of the universe, the yin and yang. We get a release date and we also get a delay. So
Yeah. I will say this though, if you've never played Persona, right before we get into this, like playing on the Switch has probably been the biggest dream for a lot of people because that is a very long game. Um, but ultimately, it'd be so nice just to play it on the couch. And if you don't have a Steam Deck, obviously now you can have use your Switch and play Persona
yeah.
5, which is awesome.
I played
Um,
Persona 5.
oh yeah,
I
you
haven't played
did.
the Royale. I haven't played the Royale version. Isn't that different?
It's a little bit different, but I think it's most of the game's still the same. I think there's some added characters and here I'll ask the expert. Hey, Audrey. Persona 5 Royal is it Royale or Royal? Audrey
Royale.
said it's Audrey said it's Royal.
Oh,
She just corrected
I
us.
trust her.
We do trust her. How much added content is in it? Oh, she says a lot. So,
Oh, okay. Okay. But it's gonna be on Switch, so it's exciting.
well, Cywag added in here. Yes, there's additional story content at the end.
I think that's Patrick from Spotlight Games. I'm pretty sure.
Did I say is it Cywag? I hope
Cywag.
it. If not,
Cywag.
that's what I'm gonna say it the whole time. Cywag.
Cywag.
Um.
But
Anyways,
delayed
it'd be really
announcement.
sorry. I'll quit talking about Persona.
No,
I still
no,
can't.
no. That was a
I, s-
part of the news.
I still can't believe it's actually gonna be on the
P-swag.
Switch finally.
P-swag.
I'm gonna say Cywag from now on. Um. Unless they don't like that, then I won't. Um, anyways, we finally got a release date for the biggest game of all time, Kayla. The people had been pulling out their hair, threatening game developers all over this game. Yeah. And there's a release date for it, so everybody can I don't know why I wanted to say, like, cool your britches off because they're hot. Because God of War Ragnarok has a release date, which I knew for the longest time it was gonna come out this year. I've been saying it. There's a couple of non-believers out there, Kayla, including your husband.
Yeah, he is. He's not a believer.
I've heard him like tell other people. Basically, other
Yeah.
people are saying, "Hey, God of War Ragnarok's coming out this year," and your husband's like, "No, it's not."
Yeah, he's
And I'm
pretty
like,
passionate about it. He has a bet going on. Um, I'm kind of neutral here. I don't really know.
here's the thing: they wouldn't announce it unless they were 100% sure that it was going to come out this year. Um,
I believe that. I can believe
and we'll get to it in a minute, but it's I'm leaning towards that might be a reason Forspoken got delayed. I feel like it's not. When was Forspoken supposed to come out? When it
that.
around the same time?
September, November.
We'll double check. But maybe
I'll check.
that guess is not right. But I was like, hmm. It's funny that that gets announced and this and Forspoken gets delayed, but regardless, God of War Ragnarok is coming officially on November 9th of this year. They didn't really announce any new details other than there's a new CGI trailer that's out. PlayStation likes to do those weird CG trailers, which
Mhm.
yeah, I don't care. I could do without them, but
Forspoken was originally slated for October,
well, that's still pretty
so
close to.
close.
That's pretty close. Could still be a reason why it got delayed.
Mm.
Um, regardless, all we know. I love how secretive they're making this game because, like the last God of War, 2018, right? 2018. Um, they showed like a little bit of gameplay, but it wasn't. They showed gameplay like 3 months basically before the game came out. So they
Yeah,
hold this really close to their chest before they're ready to show something. But this one, they're not really showing us anything. So I think we really know what to expect. We saw a little. We got the first trailer, but I think
yeah.
that's enough. I don't need to see more God of War, and I hope they don't show off anymore. Because I still think that there's a lot of secrets in this one, stuff they don't want to spoil us
Ah,
with. There
okay,
is
okay.
there is a God of War Ragnarok collector's edition. Um, comes with some
You gonna
studio
get
art, I think. Let's see.
you getting it?
Sorry, mm-mm. This Jolly Rancher is now stuck to my tooth.
No.
Oh, I got it. It's freed. I think it comes with like a weapon. I can't find the link anymore. I'm not gonna get it because like mm, I don't need any more video game stuff. Well, I
Yeah.
do, but I don't have a room for. I think it's one of his hammers. It actually might
Okay.
be. I thought it was in this article, so I apologize. I can't find the. There is a special edition out there, y'all. It comes
Yeah.
with a thing, and a thing.
Comes with a thing.
It comes with things. And I think pre-orders already started, so you might be too late. Nope, you're not too late. Starts July 15th.
Okay. That's my birthday.
Oh, hey, you should pre-order it.
Yeah, birthday
Pre-
boy.
So that's exciting. I don't. Did you play God of War, Kayla? I don't think you did, or did
I
you?
did, but
Okay,
I one of my shameful things that I have to admit as a gamer is finish it.
it's okay. It's not for
I know
everybody.
how it ends though.
Mm, it's so good, so good.
But I
I can't
did
wait
play
to
it, I
play
just didn't
more.
finish it completely.
Huh?
I said I did play it and I did enjoy it. I have commitment problems. I didn't finish it. Tab.
That's okay.
Backlog.
Um, I have asked off from work the day it comes out, but just one day. That's all I need. I'm not trying to finish it in one day. I just want to be off to spend my time with it,
Experience it.
and I'll just play it as I go. Um, I'm excited for it, but not as much as like other people are. It was like one of the best games. Yes, I agree, but not like I don't know. I'm ready
Not
to
for you
play it.
necessarily.
No, I'm ready for it. It's just like it's not one of those that I'm just like, "Ooh, I need all the time in the world for it."
Yeah.
I sort of want to take my time with it because I don't know if we'll get another one.
Right,
So,
exactly. I understand that. I've been there.
mhm,
But, I think Forspoken looks really good. I'm excited for that whenever it does come out.
mhm. Yeah, I wonder if it got
Uh,
delayed because of God of War. I'm
I
just
think it's definitely
curious
possible.
because, like, obviously, this is one of the most wanted games besides
Right.
Elden Ring. I feel like this is like the next game that everyone's just like foaming at the mouth over.
Mhm.
Um, so it would be a wise decision not to have your game come out anywhere near this game, for sure. Forspoken got delayed till January, if I'm
Oh, wow.
correct. They put out a post. Yep. As a result of ongoing discussions with key partners, we made a strategic decision to move the launch of Forspoken to January 24th.
Strategic decision, interesting. Wording.
January 24th, 2023. All game elements are now complete, and the development is in its final polishing phase. If
Nice.
anything, cool. I don't mind this delay. It's just another game on my fantasy draft that won't come out. So that's the only
Yeah,
downside of this. To the flip side, I'm definitely gonna pick it again next year or try to um
it'll score well, I think.
because I feel like especially with this extra time they're getting with it, it should play really good, I hope. And be a great story. They have some really good people on the writing team, story team for this game.
Nice.
Mhm.
So, what we should jump into now is we got a lot of recommendations for you on Twitch, or not on Twitch, on Twitter, Jericho.
Okay.
You wanted a new indie game to play, right?
Mhm.
See what we got. So I asked on Twitch, I still keep saying Twitch, Twitter, what was your favorite indie game title, like just in general, and then also like what is an indie game that is coming out you're excited about? So thank you to everyone who participated in that. Friend of the show, Cody, gave us some recommendations. That's our first one. And we're jumping in our expert mode. By the way, we're just talking about indie games. If you're jumping in late game, we are talking about like indie games that are coming out soon. And then also like just in general, like some people's favorite indie games. So Cody, friend of the show, said Her Story is one of his favorite indie games. You heard of that, Jerica?
Yes, I've heard of it but never played it, so I'm adding it to my wish list as we
Her
speak.
Story is out currently. It came out in 2015. It is developed and published by Sam Barlow. The quick blurb is a woman is interviewed 7 times by the police, search the video database, and explore hundreds of authentic clips to discover her story in this groundbreaking and award winning narrative game. Um, so it sounds kind of like a mystery kind of thing where you go like scour this like videotape. It looks pretty interesting. But he said that's one of his favorite ones. So, and he has good opinions. Um, so then he also shouted out a his and his team's Half Mermaid. It's a new game called Immortality that's coming out this month. So it's not out quite yet, but Immortality. Let me see if I can find this game really quick. Let's see. Immortality on Steam comes out July 26th. And yeah, the publisher is Half Mermaid. So Marissa Marcel was a film star. She made 3 movies, but none of the movies were ever released, and Marissa Marcel disappeared. An interactive trilogy from Sam Barr, creator of Her Story. So it's the same publisher. So that's something that's coming out later this month. If you're interested, that's
What
from
was
our
it?
Cody.
Immortal? What was it again?
Immortality. Immortality. All right. Next up, we have friend of the show who actually a member of Spotlight Games podcast, who was on our last episode. His name is Cayman. And he recommended Cat Quest 1 and 2.
Okay.
Uh I love his game taste from what he said on episode. Let's see. So Cat Quest 1 and 2. Cat Quest 3 is
Wow.
his most anticipated that's coming out eventually.
Okay.
So Cat Quest 1 and 2 don't know what it's about, but I imagine it's about cats. Next, we have from John Hanson on Rev X Shadow. They said Celeste is probably their favorite indie game. Have you played Celeste, Jericho?
I Audrey has completed it, one of her favorite another favorite of hers, of all time. It's very hard, but I played a little bit of it yesterday actually just because Audrey's played it. She plays it a lot. And I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna give this a whirl." And no, it's hard, but it is fun. It's good.
I actually downloaded it. I have not tried it yet, but I have it downloaded on Steam. It was a part of some bundle on Steam,
Mm.
and so I got it for free. Uh, but it's beautiful. I know the soundtrack is really good too. So I would play it. Let's see. So they said Celeste is probably their favorite, and then Planet of Lana, which is actually one I have to talk about later.
Oh, yeah.
Oxenfree 2 and Somerville are all ones I'm looking forward to. So that was from him. And then another friend of the show, Patrick, who is from Spotlight Games as well, said Gone Home is his favorite, one of his favorites. Have you played Gone Home?
Yes, I played that. It was really, really good.
Yeah. That
Nice
one's on
little
my kind of on my backlog a little bit, even though it's literally like 4 hours long, I think. For some reason,
I think we talked about it,
yeah.
and it's one of those games that's just exploring. You played Edith Finch,
Hmm.
right? And it sort of reminds me of that a little bit because 'cause you're just walking around a house.
Hmm.
Um, but it's good. It's good. If you enjoyed that, you
I'm
would enjoy Gone Home too.
I'm gonna finish it. I started it. I think I literally have 2 hours left. I would like to have a stretch of time where I sit down and just finish it. But he said Gone Home is up there for me, and as for anticipated, really forward to Stray later this month. I didn't know Stray was an indie game.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
We're also planning on doing like a Stray impressions with one of our friends, so stay tuned for that. And then I don't 100% know this is an indie game, but this is actually one that I've tried to, and it's Hunter, my husband, who recommended this. He said, weirdly, I love We Happy Few. Have you heard of that, Jerk? We Happy
Yes.
Few.
I've never played it, but I know of it.
So it's got a really interesting storyline and a good game to sit and get lost. So I'm curious how, let me see, how they word like the description of this game for anyone who's it. Hold on, let's see. So We Happy Few is an action adventure survival horror game
Mhm.
developed by Compulsion Games and published by Gearbox. So they are published by Gearbox. Um, it is very weird. I think
Yeah.
you would like it actually.
I'm adding it to my list.
Okay, hold on. Let me. It's got an age restriction. Ooh. I'm trying to look at it on Steam and it made me put in my birthday. It came out in 2018. So from the independent studio, okay, that brought you Contrast. We Happy Few is an action adventure game set in a drug-fueled retro futuristic city in an alternative 1960s England. Hide, fight, and conform your way out of this delusional obsessed world. I remember now. Everybody takes this drug that makes you happy, and like
Yes.
there's some people that aren't that stop taking it, and so they like realize what's going on, and you're trying to like fight your way through this where they're all like fake happy, essentially. I think you would like it actually.
I'm download it's on Game Pass, so you can download it if you have Game Pass.
Gotcha. So that is all the ones that we got in.
It's
Um,
$60 on Steam,
oh
so
my
you got
god!
Game Pass, yeah, I was like, "Whew, it's the most expensive
Yeah,
game I found on here so far out of
get
the
it on
things
Game
I've been looking up." But it's on Game
So
Pass, so
those are the couple that we got. I think that are already out. So definitely check this out, Jericho. A new game. But we had a couple that our friends of the show mentioned that are coming soon that they recommended. Let me pull them up. One of them is Sea of Stars, which is coming out next year. It got pushed a little bit. This is our friend of the show, Josh, episode. But it's called Sea of Stars. The art is really beautiful. It's slated for early 2023, and it's
okay.
from Sabotage Studio. So, Sea of Stars is a turn based RPG inspired by the classics. It tells a story of two children of the solstice who will combine the powers of the sun and the moon to perform eclipse magic. I'm sold. That sounds really cool. The only force capable of fending off the monstrous creations of the evil alchemist known as the Fleshmancer. That sounds terrifying. But it's classified as like an RPG, like pixel story game, and the
Yeah,
art looks really
it reminds me of like old school Final Fantasy.
yeah. So that was recommended by Josh. That's coming soon, and then a friend of the show, Oliver, recommended Bomb Rush Cyberfunk.
What?
Bomb Bomb Rush Cyberfunk.
Okay.
So it doesn't have a release date. I think it's estimated for next year point. But this
Oh,
is
I think
like
I
the
remember seeing the trailer for this. Yeah.
it's from Team Reptile, and the like little blurb. It's an action adventure 3D platformer. And it says Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, 1 second per second of advanced funk style. Start your own cipher and dance, tag, trick, and face off with the cops, and stake your claim to the extrusions and cavities of a sprawling metropolis. So it looks really like futuristic, kind of, and it looks different. I like the art style though.
I do too. I like the shell shading effect.
Yeah,
Almost reminds me of like the same look of like Zelda Wind Waker.
yeah,
Like that art style sort of it's shiny. It looks cool, bright and
yeah,
shiny.
for sure. So I also have some that like I am. Do you want me to go over those, or do you have
Yes.
something to talk about?
Oh no, this is
So
why I wanted this episode. I'm selfish and need some help.
yeah, send Jerica help in the chat if you guys have any out that are like indie games that you would want Jerica to play based off of like what you've heard that she likes. I mean, if you've been around the podcast for a while, you know what Jerica likes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
send those in the chat. But I talked about this either last week or maybe a couple weeks ago when we did the wrap up of all the game showcases that happened. But the game Melatonin, I'm very excited for. So it is a story about like self-reflection, and it's like a dream state between like awake and asleep. This comes out in September, so you don't have too long to wait on this
Yeah.
one. So it's a story about self-reflection told through rhythm mini games that
Mhm.
merge reality and dreams together. It uses animations and sound cues to keep you on the beat rather than overlays or interface. So Melatonin is coming to PC and Switch. I think this would be a great Switch game on September 16th of 2022. I love the color lay of this. It's like all purple and like
Yeah.
purple and white. I don't have the developer, but this one was showed off
I mean, the
at
developer's
Wholesome
called
Games.
Half Asleep.
Half asleep. That's funny. So this one is something like personally I'm really excited because I like the way that like I don't know, I love the idea of like a dream like type game. Um but next up, one that I'm really excited about that also came from Wholesome Games Direct, and not all of mine are from that. Just as a heads up. But we did talk about that in a couple episodes ago. Planet of Lana, which one of our listeners recommended this as well. Planet of Lana. It dives into it's a side-scrolling adventure planet game. Like it dives into like just
It's gorgeous.
exploring. It's
Uh
so pretty. Do you saw this one, Jerica?
oh yeah, I've been following.
Okay.
I am excited for this one.
Yeah, it's from Wishfully Studios, and it's like a puzzle type game that's supposed to come in like late 2022. We'll see, I guess. But what did you think about this one, Jericho?
I just like that it looks like a moving painting. That's what
Yeah.
drew me to it the most.
So
Uh
it was debuted at E3 in 2021. I didn't realize that. But Lana is on a mission to save her sister who was kidnapped by an invading robot army. So there is definitely a story there, and this isn't Earth, but rather an alien world. That and Lana soon bumps into and makes friends with this little creature that's super cute. If you see the trailer, her name's
yeah.
Mui. Mui. And it's a this is where the puzzling comes in, as you can also guide Mui to go and sit on switches and trigger things in the world that help Lana to progress, and then have Mui catch up to her. So it's kind of like you got a little creature following you around. So that one looks really cool. That one's on my list. Um, Play when it comes out. And another one that actually a good bit of our friends have mentioned. I don't know if you've seen this one, Jerica, but Spirit Swap, lo-fi beats to match to. Have you seen that?
I've heard it, yeah, or I've heard of it.
Yeah, so this is like a matching game. It almost looks like Candy Crush kind of vibes,
Yeah,
but there's like a twist because not only do you have that, which you can also play that with friends. Um, it has like a fantastic soundtrack, and you're supposed to be doing the matching game on beat, so it's kind of rhythm
nice.
based as well. And I watched the trailer like to make sure I remembered like what it looked like before we got on here, and it's soundtrack is really good. It's really good. And the characters are like witches and demons. So like it's got more of a character aspect too.
Yeah,
Some of which you can hang out with and get to know and maybe date as well.
okay.
All of this takes place among 5 different match modes. So there's different like types of matching games. And you also have like there's even like customization. So I don't know exactly how you get those customization pieces, but you can like it almost has like a customizing like flair piece that I think you would like. So that's coming to PC in 2020. Spirit Swap Lo-Fi Beat. I think that
You can download a demo.
yeah, the demo is on Steam, yeah. So you should play some demos, jerk.
I'm downloading it right now.
Okay. Next, I talked about this. Oh, Late from Lunch said Bomb Rush Cyberfunk is inspired by Jet Set Radio.
I figured, yeah. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "This looks familiar." Jet Set Radio. That's what I remember.
So
Yeah.
again, you guys know I'm a sucker for sim game. Okay. So when I saw this on either Day of the Devs, I think is where this came out. But Roots of Pacha is a
Oh,
prehistoric
I remember you
sim
mentioning
game.
that now. Yeah.
I think you played the trailer on one of
Yep.
but it's a prehistoric sim game. What more could you want? This is by developer Soda Den. And the kind of like blurb, it comes out in 2022 at some point. And it's the blurb is be a part of a thriving Stone Age community, discover ideas, domesticate crops, befriend animals, and contribute to the growth of your village. Play with friends in co-op or explore the early days of civilization in single player. So it's like a life sim sandbox type game. I'm very excited for this one personally. And then let's see. Okay. Oh, I found one that I think that you're gonna really like, Jerica. I don't know exactly when this is gonna come out, but it's a card game, just like Inscription. It's called Card Shark. Have you heard of it?
No.
Card Shark.
Let me look it up.
So this is a game about cheating at so you're ascending to the top of 18th century France society. So French society. It's like kind of like an older like based in the 18th century.
Oh, I think I saw the trailer. It's Devolver. Okay, I think that's where I saw the
Mhm.
trailer for it.
So this one is, it Devolver, so it's not an indie game, but I figured I would bring it up.
Oh, they're
Um
most of their games like are smaller
yeah, and I
niche
think the
games.
developer is like a newer developer.
Mhm.
But the blurb is like lie, cheat, and steal, but don't get
Yes.
caught, or you
Ooh.
may find yourself on the uncomfortable end of a blade or gun barrel. Developed by Rains Studio Neural, Card Shark will arrive to a Nintendo Switch. That would be a cool Switch game. And PC platform via Steam in 2022. So, what do you think about that, Jared? It's a card game.
I'll play
You
it.
just got finished with the game. Okay. And this one is another one I'm excited about. Bear in Breakfast. It comes out in
Yeah.
July. It's so cute. But what if you? It's like basically kind of like a sim-ish game. You run a bed and breakfast, and you're a bear, which that's adorable. But you're kind of fixing this like
Welcome
rundown
to the
bed
world.
and breakfast kind of thing. That's the ones that I had that are coming out that I'm excited for. Oh wait, there was one more that is called Terra Nil. So TerraNill, Terra Nil. And it's a strategy game. So it kind of looks more like a sim game too, but you're basically like restoring this like, old wasteland and like bringing nature back into the um map. So it's a strategy game from developer Free Lives where the goal is not to command and conquer, but instead the player must restore procedurally generated wastelands and bring back to the world like nature. And you see like the animals coming back and that sort of thing. So you can play the demo right now on Steam, but the full release is expected on PC in late 2022. So
Okay.
if you can't tell, I have a type. I like sim games and I like strategy based games, but also like some of these are something that's a little bit out of my comfort zone that I'm interested to try. But yeah, that's all that I have. If you guys in the chat have any, make sure you post it. Um, oh, another one that late from that you might like is Lost in Random. Have you heard that one?
Already added to my list here. I saw it. I had it. I was
You
like, yes,
did?
that looks cool. Yeah.
Ooh, that does look cool. So Lost in Random is an action adventure developed by Zorn. It's published by EA. Um, let's see. It's like a fantasy type game. Let me read the Steam description. Play the odds in Lost in Random, a gothic fairy tale inspired action adventure where citizens' fate is determined by the roll of a dice. Hmm, that sounds cool. The art's really pretty. Um, that's all I got. Jared, do you have anything else that you want to add? Stuff that you're
I'm going through like all the games I've ever played on Steam because I feel like on Steam is where I usually play these small indie experiences and like Inside, Stardew Valley, a
of
couple of
course.
games I played in 2016 on the computer. Um, Dream Daddy, a
Dream
dad
Dad. Oh,
a,
that's
d-
the
a
simulator
dad
game.
dating simulator. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Um, Night in the Woods is one that I
Oh,
got really far into, but I never beat it. So I actually might go back to this game. Night in the Woods. It's got the art style's really cool. It's like all these little emo, like teenage critters. It's like a cat, a wolf, and they're like meeting up in the woods and having parties and dealing with
wow.
life as a young adult. It's a fun story so far.
Didn't you
Um,
play, Nobody Saves the World?
I
Do you play that
started
one?
it and it was really cool, but
Ah,
I put it down.
that's a good one. Sorry, I didn't mean to
I
interrupt you.
did finally beat and play through Undertale, which it was
Oh,
cool. It
yeah.
was cool, but maybe I'm just not like playing it right, but I don't know what all the hoopla is about. Is that the right word for that? I don't know.
Hoopla!
It's got like a huge following and it was cool and all, but mm, people might hate me for saying that. Undertale was fine.
That's okay.
um, let's see.
Oh, we had somebody in the chat, mentioned the game Inside. Have you
Oh, I mentioned that just a few moments
Ooh.
ago.
Oh, you did? I
Mhm.
guess I missed that.
Inside. Stardew Valley and Inside were the
Oh, yeah,
two
yeah,
games I
yeah.
played in 2016.
It's
Yes, of
like a
course.
puzzle platformer.
Yeah, Inside's awesome. Limbo from the creator of Limbo. If you ever played Limbo, also one of my favorites. Um, but Inside is like the next game that developer put out, and it is fun. I love the ending. It was cool.
What was that game that we played on stream one that's like the puzzle game that you what's it called? We played it on stream together. Oh gosh, what's
I don't
I'll try to think.
It's gonna have a horrible memory. I'm glad there's lists of games I've played before.
Yeah, maybe it'll be on here then.
I guess last year or this is technically this year. I played Unpacking.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's one of my favorite games. Ugh, Unpacking was so good.
All right,
I
that's
finished
I'm caught up. And there's probably more
Un
that I've played.
Did Unpacking come out this year? It did, right?
I don't know why it says 2021 in my
Oh, maybe it did come out
downloads.
last year
I don't know. I feel like I played that a few months ago. I don't
then.
know.
Maybe.
But yeah, I still think Outer Wilds is one of my favorite indie games of all time. That game's awesome. I need to actually get back to it because it had some DLC.
Oh, yeah, I
Um,
remember that. That's right.
Release. Let me see.
I'm trying to think of what that dang game was. It was like a puzzle game. You had to like make it through level.
Can you describe any more? Like what it looks
It was
like?
like shapes. It was very like linear.
Okay.
Oh, it's gonna
And we
drive me
played it
crazy.
together?
Yeah, it was one of those days where like I think we were gonna be playing like a horror game together. You might have streamed it individually by yourself. Hold on. I'll find it. Don't worry.
I
Because
know
there
I
was
think I know what you're
clip
talking about. What's the game dev game? The game maker game. You can make your own game. Why am
Dreams?
I Dreams? Yeah.
No,
It
I know,
wasn't
I remember
Dreams?
that, but it wasn't that.
I
I
have
will
no
find it.
idea. I have no idea.
It's
Yeah,
bothering me.
Outer Wilds has a special edition now, and then the Echoes of the Eye is the expansion. I don't know if anyone's played Outer Wilds, but it's awesome. I think it was one of the first games I played since playing that, just every area was a surprise, and I didn't see what was coming. And it's sort of like explore at your own pace. There's not a wrong turn. Like you're always go the way you want to go. It's just sort of a freeing experience. That's why I like that game so much. But there's DLC. I was trying to see. All right. A strange satellite photo that can't be explained. A new museum exhibit that marks the trailhead for one last journey into the wilds. Should you pull at the thread and unravel the solar system's deepest secret? Or is some knowledge better left in the dark? Dun dun dun. You are the newest recruit of Outer Wilds Ventures, a space program searching for answers in a strange, constantly evolving solar system. Yeah, I might have to get this. I want to go back to Outer Wilds. That was fun.
Yeah. I remember you talking about it when it came out. I think
Mhm.
it came out, we played it while we were on the podcast.
Yeah.
Um, another so Late from Lunch said Undertale is for Rick and Morty types.
I can see
Uh,
that.
and then also, Peachwag said, "Oh, have y'all mentioned Spiritfarer? I have downloaded and
Mhm.
started Spiritfarer. I have not finished it. This was in the emergence of my PC, where I like mass downloaded a bunch of games and like started a bunch of games, but didn't finish them. But I do have it downloaded, and I really liked it. It's really pretty, and it does seem like a me game, and it is because it talks about like death and ghost stuff and like
That's pretty
helping people in
cool.
death. He also said, Pishwak said Thomas was alone in that game. I have not seen Thomas alone game. It's a puzzle platformer. I'm interested. It's an indie minimalist 2D platformer, and you guide a bunch of rectangles through a series of obstacles. If you're trying to figure out if that's someone I'm talking about, it's not, but this sounds interesting. I'm interested.
I do want to play this.
Dang it! I
It was
can't
on
remember.
my radar for a minute, then I forgot about it.
It had a weird name. Oh my god, this is gonna
I
drive me.
also need to get back to Ori. I played the first
Audrey
Ori. What?
Audrey played this game too, and it was like you make it to the end. It was
Oh,
like that kind of game. Yes!
super lineal. What was it called?
Superliminal. Yeah.
Super limi. I can't say that.
Jericho, I'm so glad you thought of it. I don't think I actually played it with you. I think I
It's a
just
game
watched
about
you play it.
perspective, like a perspective
Super
puzzler. It's really good. What a ride!
Superliminal.
Yeah, I ended up finishing it finally.
Yeah, it came out in 2019, and it's from the developer Pillow Castle.
It's
Thank
good.
you for thinking of it. I think you streamed it, and that's what I'm thinking of. Did you
Yeah,
stream that
I did.
one? Peachwag said, "I was thinking of Thomas was alone might be the shapes." It's good.
It was
Okay, yeah,
literally
no.
shapes. Yeah, that's a good guess
Yeah.
for sure.
I think that's all we have. I always love talking about indie games. I think it's really smaller developers. Another game I totally forgot about, but if you've listened to the podcast, I've talked my ears off about it like in the past. But Coral Island is another game that's coming out that like, my most anticipated. I think they're supposed to be coming out with like an alpha in October, but it's had to get pushed because they are they're very small and they're really still trying to fund. but I've been following them on Twitter. They have a Kickstarter, but it's basically it is also kind of like an Animal Crossing sort of game, but it's on an island and it talks a lot about like ocean life and like ocean conservation. And so there's like some underwater like sim aspect, just different, I feel like. And they're very diverse. Like they have a really huge like array of like characters that you can choose from, and you can also romance characters, Jericho,
Ooh.
romance ladies. Um, and it has like a farming sim aspect as a lot. There's a town you can explore, you can build your own house, like that sort of thing. So if you want to follow them on Twitter, it's just Coral Island, and it's Stairway Games, I believe is the developer, Stairway Games. Um, yeah. Late from lunch said, most looking forward to Celico, Deadlink, and Knuckle Sandwich. Don't know any of those, but I support you. um, Thank you for your input, though. I'll definitely look this up later. But yeah, Jerica, did you have any other ones that you're looking forward to that are coming out?
No, I think we
We covered a lot
yeah, we
today.
did. We covered a few of them that was definitely on my list as well.
Yeah.
And I
You'll have to let
definitely
us know if you try
I've
any of the ones that you yeah.
I've definitely, added to my wish list on Steam, so I have some things to choose from. Even downloaded a couple of demos.
Yeah. You'll have to let us know if you play them. Um, but you've been playing your PC a lot more. Excited to hear about that.
Yes, I've
I
been I've been on this thing, doing more on it than I've ever done before. I feel like I'm just, like, not getting the most out of it, but I've been enjoying it. I'm enjoying it just because, I don't know, it's sort of like a fun little place. I like the Steam platform. Like,
yeah.
I like going to the storefront. Um, I'm updating my account. I got a cool profile page now.
Yeah.
I got
I feel
some
like
badges. I've had Steam for 14 years.
oh my gosh.
'Cause, like, I've had it forever. I remember I think I had it just to play Portal when it came out. So,
Oh wow.
I've been a part of the Steam family for a long time, but literally don't have a lot of games that I've ever downloaded for it until, like, 2016. I can go back to that year, was probably the first year I downloaded more than one game
Yeah.
on Steam.
Another game we should play together that's on Steam is we should play that together.
What
That
is
would be
it?
fun. It's like it's a Valorant. It's like
Oh,
a
yeah.
first person shooter game that's very strategy based, very skill based. Like you have to detonate this bomb. I've talked about it, I think, on here. I haven't played it a ton, but it's you can play up to 4 people, I believe, or 5. But that one's fun too. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up our indie game episode. It's there's a lot that is like untapped potential that to play. Like there's so many options out there
I
and so many
know.
I'm sure we haven't heard of. But if you ever have any recommendations, I am gonna try to. I for a while did like a section on the podcast where like I talked about like a game a week about like an indie game that I didn't know about. Um so I'll try to keep that back up and see that. Maybe find some more recommendations. But you can always send them to us on our Instagram or Twitter thing, which is just Jake and Games podcast. If you missed that earlier, but I think that's it.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap.
I can't wait to play some more games. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, let's go play some games, and we'll see you guys next time on the flippity flop.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining. See ya.